I, 25-year-old female, am married to my husband, 26-year-old male. We live about 45 minutes away from where my parents live. They live about 10 minutes away from my sister Rachel and her husband and their 4 kids. Their oldest is 12 years old and their youngest is 2 years old. All of the kids are very well behaved and we love getting to see them when we can. My husband and I try to make it a point to spend individual time with one of them once a month, and we see them all during birthdays, some holidays, etc. My mother and sister do not work. All of the kids are either in school or in daycare, including in the summers, and my parents watch all of the kids 2 days a weekend of my sister's choice. This is relevant because when they're making plans and invite my husband and I, they forget that we both work, but my husband is currently working from home because he shattered his arm and is currently in a full cast and sling, waiting for another surgery which will be on December 27th. They'll be like, "We're taking the little ones to see Paw Patrol Thursday at 1. Can you both come? They'd love to see you." Then when I say we'll be working, they'll ask if we can just request off. Anyway, my parents just finalised plans to have 2 larger holiday get-togethers, one with each side of their extended families, plus a smaller holiday get-together with just them, my sister and her husband, me and my husband and the kids. The 2 larger gatherings are scheduled for the 20th and 21st, the smaller gathering for the evening of the 22nd, and then we are travelling to see my husband's family from the 23rd to the 26th. For the first 2 gatherings, they rented a gathering space that's an hour away from us. Additionally, relatives on both sides offered to host, but my parents insisted on the gathering space because it's more convenient for my sister since she has 4 kids to shuttle around. Everyone in the family is chipping in to cover the cost of the rental space. I asked if they could come to our house for the private gathering, as it would be easier for us because we both work that day and my husband has a doctor's appointment in the afternoon. Initially they said yes, but today they said it will be at their house because, again, it's easier for my sister and the kids. I expressed my frustration and said she's not the only one who is busy, and it's unfair that everything is always made to convenience her, even at the inconvenience of others. My husband and I agreed we will bring our gifts for them and the kids to the larger gatherings and skip the smaller one. They asked if we could request to be off on the 22nd. We said no. They're now saying we're both being unsympathetic because my husband is agreeing with me and it was his idea to skip and that we don't know how hard it is because we don't have kids. My sister especially is saying I'm being an AH, a hole, and she feels like I'm trying to say I'm more important because I work, which I'm not. I'm just asking for some consideration. Am I the idiot? Am I the a-hole? Now, for a few comments before the update. Comment 1, not the idiot. I was a stay-at-home mum, and the fact is that allowed me to be far more flexible with my time than my sisters-in-law who worked full-time. We tried to arrange gatherings around their schedule. Your sister is being really selfish. Comment 2, not the idiot. Your sister is projecting here. She obviously feels that she's more important because she has children and entitled to the endless accommodations made for her and her children. Now, for the update. Thanks for all the comments on my last post. They really help me see things from different perspectives. So a lot has happened in the past few days, and I'm still trying to wrap my head around it all. The day after I posted, my mum called me early in the morning. She sounded upset and said she wanted to talk about the holiday plans. I braced myself for another argument, but instead she apologised. She said she realised they had been taking our schedules for granted and that it wasn't fair to us. I was honestly shocked. We had a long conversation where I explained how stressed we've been, especially with my husband's injury and upcoming surgery. She said she understood and promised to be more considerate in the future. Later that day, my sister called. She didn't apologise, but she did say she wanted to find a compromise. She suggested that we could do a video call during the smaller gathering so we could still be part of it. I wasn't thrilled with the idea, but I agreed because it seemed like a step in the right direction. The next day, my husband had his doctor's appointment. The news wasn't great. The doctor said his arm isn't healing as well as they'd hoped, and he might need an additional surgery after the one scheduled for December 27th. This hit us hard. We were both feeling pretty down, and the thought of juggling the holidays with this added stress was overwhelming. That evening, my parents called again. They said they had talked it over and decided to move the smaller gathering to our house after all. They didn't want to add to our stress and thought it would be easier for us. I was relieved and grateful. It felt like they were finally listening and trying to accommodate use. The day of the first large gathering arrived. We drove the hour to the rented space and it was actually really nice. Everyone chipped in with the food and decorations, and it was great to see the extended family. My sister was a bit cold towards us, but I tried not to let it bother me. The kids were excited about their gifts, and it was heartwarming to see their faces light up. The second gathering was much the same, though the tension between my sister and me was still there. I could tell she was still upset about the smaller gathering being moved to our house, but I didn't want to start an argument in front of the family. Now, here's where things get complicated. The evening before the smaller gathering at our house, my sister called me out of the blue. She was crying and said she needed to talk. I was worried, so I told her to come over. When she arrived, she was a mess. She said she and her husband had been having problems and that they were considering separation. I was floored. I had no idea things were that bad between them. We talked for hours. She apologized for being so difficult about the holiday plans and said she had been taking her stress out on me. I felt terrible for her and told her we'd support her no matter what. We ended up hugging it out and it felt like we finally made up. The smaller gathering was the next day, and it was a bit awkward at first. My sister and her husband were both there trying to keep things normal for the kids, but you could cut the tension with a knife. My parents were trying to be cheerful, but I could tell they were worried about my sister. We managed to get through the evening, and everyone seemed to enjoy themselves, especially the kids. But as the night wound down, my sister pulled me aside. She said she had something to tell me, but made me promise not to say anything to the rest of the family yet. She's pregnant with their 5th child. I was stunned. I didn't know what to say. She's already overwhelmed with 4 kids, and her marriage is on the rocks. She looked so scared, and I just hugged her. I promised to keep her secret until she's ready to tell everyone. So now here we are. My husband and I are about to leave to visit his family, and I'm sitting here with this huge secret. My sister is facing a potential separation and a new baby, and I don't know how to help her. I'm worried about my husband's arm, and I'm just hoping we can get through the rest of the holidays without any more surprises. It's been a wild few days, and I'm not sure what the future holds for any of us. But I guess that's life, right? Unpredictable and messy. I just hope we can all find some peace and happiness in the new year. Now, for the comments. Comment 1. Hey there, have you tried sitting down with your sister and explaining how the constant scheduling conflicts are affecting you and your hubby? Maybe a heart-to-heart could help her see your side. Remember, family is a two-way street and compromise is key. Comment 2. Oh boy, talk about family drama overload. Your sister's playing the kid card like it's a royal flush. Stick to your guns and maybe bring some humor to the table next time they forget you have a life too. Sorry, can't make it. My invisible pet needs a walk. Now, for the next story. My partner is a postman and has early starts. My partner states he needs sleep so he doesn't have an accident while working. I had myself and my son being sick, our baby daughter screaming because she's seen me throw up in the sink while holding her due to clinginess. My son and I took turns using the toilet. My son threw up on his bed and on the landing. I was struggling with my own sickness, our baby daughter's clinginess, screaming and trying to sort out my son's sickness. I went to my partner with our baby daughter in my arms screaming, explained that I need help as both my son and I are being sick and struggling. My partner asked me what I want his help with. I told him that I would like help sorting out my son's bed. My partner ended up taking our daughter downstairs as I've been sick again. I hear our baby daughter screaming downstairs, so once sorted I rushed back to her. My partner made a comment that apparently I've given everyone food poisoning. The night our baby daughter started being sick, he was away at a hotel and is blaming me for the situation. I hadn't cooked for the family that night. Instead, I ordered a KFC for the family, so I can't imagine how I could have given everyone food poisoning. The next day, I got in touch with the doctors regarding our baby daughter, as I was concerned with the amount of vomiting and was informed that she had caught a nasty tummy bug that was going around at the moment. My partner was gone until 6 p.m, and I hadn't pestered him with our baby daughter's sickness and dealt with it myself as I was giving him his space. I naturally snapped at the comment and felt asking for his help had been a mistake. I ended up clearing the sick on the landing and had to get my son to sort out his own bed. After finishing, I took our daughter back and my partner went to go back to bed. I did make the comment that I was sorry for waking him up and felt he didn't care to help when it involved me or my son. Later on in the night, I was sick again and our baby daughter started screaming again. I had her on my lap as I still couldn't put her down and she was refusing to sleep. This time my partner came down taking our baby daughter downstairs as I was still being sick in the sink. I finished sorting myself out again and ensured my son was all right. His bedding situation was sorted and he was finally able to get some sleep. Downstairs, our baby daughter was going back and forth between me and my partner, but refusing to sleep and struggling to settle. My partner ended up sleeping on the sofa, and I ended up sitting up on the sofa focusing on our baby daughter the rest of the night, got her to sleep, but if I moved, she would cry and wake. My partner ended up waking and getting ready for work after a few hours. I said thank you for helping, and good luck with work, but he brushed off my words as in a mood with me. But was either one being out of order? Now for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. Not the idiot. You do not have a partner. You have a third child. He is putting himself ahead of all of you, forever. Lots of people take on a lot of responsibility and are just fine. Was your partner considerate of your needs? No. Comment 2. Not the idiot. Your partner is a parent, and part of being a parent is being sleep-deprived, overworked and tired while raising children. That means both of you, not just you. Now for the update, thanks to everyone who read my last post. It's been a week since the whole ordeal with the sickness in our house, and I wanted to share what's happened since then. After that rough night, things started to look up. The next morning my partner left for work, still a bit grumpy, but I was too exhausted to dwell on it. I focused on getting the kids and myself better. My son's stomach settled down, and he was able to eat some toast and keep it down. Our baby daughter's condition also improved. She was less clingy, and the vomiting had stopped. It was such a relief to see them both on the mend. I managed to catch a few hours of sleep while the kids napped. When I woke up, I felt a bit more human. I cleaned the house, disinfected everything, and washed all the soiled bedding and clothes. It was a lot of work, but it felt good to get the house back in order. That evening, my partner came home from work and he was in a much better mood. He apologized for his behavior the night before. He explained that he was worried about having an accident at work due to lack of sleep and that he didn't handle the stress of the situation well. I understood where he was coming from and apologized for snapping at him too. We both were just overwhelmed by everything that was happening. We decided to order in for dinner, something light and easy on the stomach. We spent the evening cuddling on the couch with the kids, watching their favorite cartoons. It was nice to have a peaceful moment as a family after the chaos of the past few days. Over the next few days, life slowly returned to normal. My partner took a day off work to help me out and to spend some quality time with the kids. We went to the park, and it was lovely to see our son running around laughing and playing like his usual self. Our baby daughter was her cheerful self too, babbling and smiling at everyone. We also had a visit from my partner's parents. They had heard about the sickness and came over to see if we needed any help. They brought over some homemade soup and spent some time with the kids, which gave my partner and me a chance to have a much-needed break and a nap. As the week came to an end, I reflected on everything that had happened. It was a tough situation, but it brought my partner and me closer together. We realized that we needed to communicate better and support each other, especially during tough times. We made a promise to work on that. Our son was back at school, happy and healthy. Our baby daughter was her giggly self again, and the clinginess had subsided. My partner and I were getting along better than ever. We even planned a date night for the upcoming weekend, the first in a long time. Looking back, I can see that the stress of the situation got the better of us. But in the end, we came out stronger as a family. We learned to lean on each other and that together we can get through anything. It was a hard lesson, but a valuable one. And as for the food poisoning accusation, we all had a good laugh about it later. It turned out that a few of our neighbours had also been hit by the same tummy bug, so it was definitely going around. My partner admitted that it was unfair to blame me, and we joked that at least we were all in it together. In the end, everything worked out. The sickness was just a temporary setback, and it reminded us of the importance of family and sticking together through thick and thin. It's safe to say that we're all happy to put that week behind us and look forward to healthier days ahead. Now for the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot. It's rough when the whole family is down for the count. Maybe next time, try a family meeting to set expectations for when sickness hits. It's all about teamwork, and it sounds like your partner dropped the ball. Glad to hear the apology and that things are looking up. Comment 2. Not the idiot, but hey, at least you've got a new family story to tell at gatherings. Remember the time we all thought it was KFC's fault? Seriously though, glad your partner stepped up eventually. Date night sounds like a perfect reset button for you two. If you liked this video, you'll probably like these too. Also, while you're here, please consider subscribing. It's your support that keeps this channel alive and allows me to make better and longer videos. Have a great day.